Hello, welcome to this video. Today we're looking at Google Slides and potentially how you could create an alternative to Google Jamboard. So as I've mentioned in a previous video, Google Jamboard is being phased out. Google have decided to discontinue that product. So I was thinking, what else could we use? If you're thinking of other alternatives to using Google Slides in place of Google Jamboard, then click on the banner in the top right hand corner and you can watch my alternative playlist of other tools you could use in place of Jamboard. But for today, we're going to focus on Google Slides. So I've logged onto my Google Drive. I've come to New, and then I'm going to choose Google Slides. I'm going to close the themes pop-up initially, and then I'm going to go to Slide. Just look at the various menus so I can create a new slide. So what I want to do is go to File and Page Setup. And we've got various choices, but if we go to Custom, you can change it to whatever you want. I kind of like doing it as an A3 page, which is about a similar size to the pixel dimensions that Jamboard used. So let's go with 42 centimeters by 29.7. So that's A3 paper size. So we'll click Apply. We can then start to get rid of the text boxes for the moment. We could use that one as the title. So let's we can select the text and we can reduce the size of it. We can also maybe align that as we want. So let's align that to the left. I'll just reduce the size of the text box. So we've got that as our thing. We can then go to background and we can maybe change the color of the background if we wanted. So let's go with a gray background. Done. We'll do. So we'll just change the color of the font. So let's make that white. And then what we can do is we can start to add some of those features that we'd expect to see in Jamboard. So a number of the features they like are, you've got the function to add shapes. Now you could just get the students to do this because I think you can use it with students. Let's save that before we go any further. You could let them just use the tools that are on Google Slides to add content and to edit it. I think to speed up the process and just make it easier for them as they're engaging with it, that you add some of these as templates that they can copy and paste. So let's grab a circle. Now instead of leaving it on the board itself, I like to almost have a palette of tools on the left hand side. So we can do that just by reducing the size of our display. So at the moment it's on fit, but we could go to 50%, or we could type in a function that we want and we can make it smaller. So from that drop down where it says fit, you can choose the size. So if you make the size slightly smaller than you need, you can then start to give yourself space. So we've got a circle shape. We'll change the outline. Let's make that red, and we'll increase the width of the line so it's slightly bigger. We'll leave it with a fill for the moment, but do the same thing. We'll pick a square this time. And we'll do the same thing. We'll change the color. Let's go with some nice bright colors. We'll go with the green on that one. And then let's pick a couple more shapes. So we'll have a triangle. And we'll change the color of that to blue. And then finally, we will add one more shape. And that gives the students choices. Now you could pick any of the shapes you wanted. You could go with some arrows if you wanted. But let's just go with one last shape. What shall we have? Let's go with that one. And we'll click and add that. So we've got our shapes. So students will be able to copy and paste those in. We'll make that a different color again. So we've got our shapes in. So we've got our shapes. Other things we want to be able to add are the sticky note type function. So we will use an alternative shape for that. If we go with this one, I think that looks like a post-it note, doesn't it? So we can create our post-it note there. We can change the color. We make that one of the pastel colours. It looks like a post-it note. We'll change the edge so there is no border. And we may have a couple of those. So I'll just copy and paste. So I'm on a Mac, so it's Command-C, Command-V. On a PC, it'd be Control-C, Control-V. So we've now got a couple of post-it notes. We can then select those and copy and paste and bring them down a bit further. And we can change the colour of those. Let's go with light green, and then we'll do the same again. Copy and paste, and we will make it a light colour. Let's go with pink. So we've got our post-it notes there. Then all we do is we're going to add a text box, which we put at the bottom. And that's just going to give you the instructions. So copy the items from the left-hand menu and paste onto the slide. So we've added our instructions at the bottom. That just reminds students how to use it, but you can demonstrate that to them. It's very straightforward. We can make that slightly bigger. So we've got our instructions there. We've got our post-it notes. Now you could, if you wanted to, we could come up here. We could go to just Google search and we could say thumbs up icon. We could find a suitable thumbs up icon. And we could save that image, save image as. And then we could come back and we could insert that image into our slide. So it's too big at the moment, but we could make that smaller. And then what you could do is you could get students to vote. So they could hit copy and paste the hand up, thumbs up. So we could put one there. We could do the same for thumbs down. I suppose I could just cheat for this one. We'll just take that and we'll spin it around. So we've got our thumbs up and thumbs down. And then all the students need to do is copy and paste that one final thing with the post-it notes. I kind of like to click into them and just put type here and adjust the size of the text within the post-it note so that you're going to fit a reasonable amount of text within the post-it note. So we'll do that. You could do that for all of those. So we've now got our board. What's great is having got one, we can just duplicate the slide. So we can go duplicate and we can duplicate a few of those if we wish. You could add some shapes. So we could add a bit of a framework. So if we insert some more shapes into the board, so we could give this maybe 3 columns. So I'll have one there. We'll get rid of the outline and I'll copy and paste that again. And again. And on the final one, we're going to make it slightly narrower. But you can see we've got our scaffold. We could add some titles to those if we wanted. Let's just get those aligned as we want. But you get the idea. You're now ready to share that with your students. So just like you would with any Google product, click share and you can choose either adding specific people individually or you can go to anyone with a link and then you can choose whether they're a viewer or a editor. So you could click edit and then copy the link, and that's what you would share with your students. So there you have it, using Google Slides as an alternative to Google Jamboard. So I hope you found that video useful. If you did, remember to subscribe to the channel and join me again soon for more EdTech videos. Thanks for watching.